Hey everybody, Beth here. It's September 19th and I've got two things to impart today. The first is that I've got an op-ed out in the Washington Examiner talking about the hostage negotiations that took place last weekend between Khalilzad, Mataki, and Baylor. And in my estimation, what we need to be doing is using the new executive order in which we can designate countries as state sponsors of wrongful detention to designate Afghanistan as such, unless we get a full return of all 4 Americans who I'm told are held there. Now, this will be interesting, right? Because the EO has a part in it where we can use travel restrictions and say that the country's too unsafe for Americans to travel to, basically. And how darkly hypocritical it would be for us to put those restrictions on Americans when we just said that an increase in tourism is why we could remove the TPS designation for Afghans here. So I also call to revisit that designation in light of all of the reprisals that are taking place. So I think it's an important article. Please go give it a look. You can find it on Twitter, on Instagram, BWBailey85, both places. And then the other piece of news to share now is that Peter and Barbie Reynolds have finally been released from Taliban custody. They are British citizens. They are 76 and 80 years old, and they were not doing well in Taliban detention. That was per Faye Hall, who was released earlier this year, an American citizen held obviously in proximity to them, who had relayed the news that they were in very poor health. So it's excellent to hear that they have been released, and I just wonder what comes next for our citizens. And even then, as I say in my report in the Examiner, it sounds like we're getting closer to the Taliban, and that's a problem. That's a real problem because of the gender apartheid that's being practiced in that country. I asked the State Department what their stance on that was, and they did not give me an answer. I find that exceedingly troubling.